You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Choudhry. Lots of theatrics in the middle of the night yesterday, especially for newsrooms. Suddenly there was a flurry of activity in the camp of the Aam Aadmi Party. Top leaders, including the likes of Atishi, including the likes of Sourabh Bharadwaj, all started tweeting out that Arvind Kejriwal's arrest was imminent. That this morning, which is today, the ED would be at the doorstep of the Delhi Chief Minister for a raid and will arrest him. That didn't happen. The Enforcement Directorate, of course, came out and said that there was no plan of making that arrest or that raid this morning. But yes, they are definitely contemplating sending out a fourth summon after the Delhi Chief Minister skipped the third summon yesterday. In midst of all of this, the BJP is now accusing the Aam Aadmi Party of crying wolf and creating or trying to create a political spectacle. The Aam Aadmi Party is saying it's going to happen, maybe not today, but it will happen very soon. There is a plan to arrest Arvind Kejriwal before 2024 Lok Sabha elections. Here's more.
It was a dramatic Thursday morning for the national capital. Political circles were abuzz with speculation over a possible Enforcement Directorate arrest of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. Aam Aadmi Party leaders posted social media messages expressing fear that their party chief could be taken into custody in the Delhi liquor policy case. The suspense, however, ended early in the day after the central agency denied any such plan. Chief Minister Kejriwal soon addressed the media, calling the Enforcement Directorate summons for questioning illegal. Kejriwal has so far ignored 3 summons from the Enforcement Directorate.
मेरी सबसे बड़ी संपत्ति, मेरी सबसे बड़ी ताकत मेरी ईमानदारी है। इन्होंने मुझे समन भेजे हैं। मेरे वकीलों ने मुझे बताया कि ये समन गैर कानूनी है। क्यों गैर कानूनी है? ये मैंने इनको विस्तार से लिख के भेजा है। मैंने बताया है कि उनके समन कैसे गैर कानूनी है, लेकिन उन्होंने मेरी एक भी बात का जवाब नहीं दिया।
The Chief Minister was first called by the ED on November the 2nd. He didn't appear and instead decided to hold an election roadshow in Madhya Pradesh ahead of the state polls. The Aam Aadmi Party convener was again called on December the 21st. He didn't appear and went for a Vipassana break. Kejriwal skipped the agency's third summons on Wednesday. The BJP has gone all guns blazing against Kejriwal, branding him as a bhagoda who's trying to dodge the ED summons. Sources tell India Today the central agency is likely to slap another summons on the Aam Aadmi Party chief soon. The BJP is accusing Kejriwal of running away from the investigation.
Why is he running away from an investigation? He can't give himself a certificate of honesty. If he was having a certificate of honesty, he would stand with the investigative agencies to see that the truth should come out. If he has nothing to hide, he will bring all the facts there.
अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को गिरफ्तार करने की साजिश अब केंद्र ने बनाई है। क्यों बनाई है? क्योंकि लोकसभा का चुनाव आ रहा है। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को गिरफ्तार कर लीजिए। लोकसभा चुनाव के अंदर अरविंद केजरीवाल गैर हाजिर रहे, भारतीय जनता पार्टी को उसका फायदा हो जाए।
The heat, though, is mounting on the Aam Aadmi Party. Delhi Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena has ordered a CBI investigation into an alleged fake test scam in Mohalla clinics, the ambitious healthcare project implemented by the Kejriwal government. A vigilance report which unearthed the alleged scam also claimed that doctors at Mohalla clinics were faking attendance. The report alleges that unauthorized staff were prescribing tests and medicines to patients at Mohalla clinics.
ये तो वो पार्टी है जो कहती थी आरोप लगते ही इस्तीफा दे देना चाहिए, जांच तो बाद में होनी चाहिए। वो आज कहती है जांच एजेंसी के सामने भी नहीं जाना चाहिए। अच्छा छोड़िए, अपनी पार्टी में भी तो एक लोकपाल नियुक्त किया था, उसी के पास जाके जांच की रिपोर्ट दे, वो वही खत्म कर दिया एडमिरल रामदास। वो कितने भी रूप बदल लें, मगर उनका वास्तविक चेहरा अब जनता के सामने है।
Two top leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party, Manish Sisodia and Sanjay Singh, have already been jailed in money laundering cases. A third leader, Satyendra Jain, is out on bail. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right. right, so lots going down there. The Aam Aadmi Party saying it's imminent. It might not have happened this morning, primarily because they were very clear that it was going to happen. The news leaked and the ED backed off as per the Aam Aadmi Party. The Enforcement Directorate, on the other account, has rubbished all of these as nothing but conspiracy theories and rumour mongering. They say that they are studying the reply that the Delhi Chief Minister has sent, and then in all probability will follow it through with the fourth summon. The Bharatiya Janata Party has called it nothing short of political theatrics, and the Aam Aadmi Party trying to create a political moment or spectacle but failing. Now all of that, let's take it to our panelists this evening. Joining me, Pratyush Kant, National Spokesperson, BJP, Akshay Marathe, National Spokesperson, Aam Aadmi Party, Ashutosh, Political Analyst. Akshay Marathe, happy to see that your Delhi Chief Minister is safe and sound in this winter evening. Lots of our reporters from 7 a.m. in the morning were standing outside the Delhi Chief Minister residence thinking that there's going to be a sudden swoop by the ED.
Preeti, this is not about today itself. This is about a long pattern of the Enforcement Directorate's behavior towards the Aam Aadmi Party. If you look at what happened with Mr. Sisodia, Mr. Sanjay Singh and Vijay Nair, this was the exact script. They were called in for summons. When they showed up for the summons, they were asked questions. When they answered the questions truthfully, the ED said, "We are not satisfied with these answers and we are arresting you." This has been the modus operandi of this Enforcement Directorate run by the Bharatiya Janata Party. And unfortunately, we see that the ED only behaves in this manner when it comes to opposition politicians. When you look at the example of Chhagan Bhujbal, who had been jailed by the ED for 2 years in a money laundering case. As soon as he turned over to the BJP, the ED went to the court and said, "We have lost his prosecution case. We can't find the files." And now the gentleman is a minister in the BJP government. So the people of India are watching this very closely, very patiently, and they will give a befitting reply to the Bharatiya Janata Party. The investigative authorities of this country cannot be reduced to a political wing of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party have been investigated by all of these agencies several times over, but not a single case has reached its logical conclusion in the courts of this country and have been convicted. Now let's take the example of the liquor case. The investigation has been going on for the last 2 years. Mr. Manish Sisodia is in jail for 1 year and not a single piece of evidence has been introduced in the trial which has brought it closer to the case finishing. So that means that without pronouncing him guilty, the gentleman has been in jail for 1 year. The process has become the punishment under the BJP. And Arvind Kejriwal will not become the latest victim of this process.
Okay. No, fair enough. But this was a debate of yesterday, Akshay Marathe. So take it up from there. Just for curiosity's sake, would you like to explain the midnight, or what happened late last night, where suddenly your leaders said that Arvind Kejriwal is going to be arrested this morning, led to many anxious moments, especially in news studios in the morning. Then you had reporters rushing to the CM residence, but nothing happened. But where? What made you believe that this arrest was imminent?
Preeti, it was not just us that believed that the arrest was imminent. It was also the Delhi police which believed that the arrest was imminent. I don't know if your reporters have told you this, but when the media reached the Delhi Chief Minister's residence in the morning, in the beginning, they were not even allowed to go to the residence. And eventually, they created an enclosure for the media to track what's going on in that vicinity. So even the Delhi police were expecting that something was going to happen. There was going to be some kind of action on the ground, as they would like to put it. And the same sources informed us as well that this was imminent. And most importantly, the Bharatiya Janata Party's own leaders have been saying since yesterday, ab agla number Arvind Kejriwal ka. So if you trust the Bharatiya Janata Party leaders, then of course it is imminent. The arrest
All right, let me go to Pratyush Kant. Pratyush Kant, the theatrics, what you're accusing the Aam Aadmi Party of, different. But, the point that the Aam Aadmi Party makes, and sometimes it does, mirror, which is in truth, where a lot of times the summon hasn't gone, but some of your own leaders have tweeted out that the summon's going to go. So the Aam Aadmi Party accusing that this is political vendetta does catch traction in somewhat way, sir.
If you jump a red light you get a notice from the court. If it is non-bailable, you go. If an honorable High Court calls you, you have to go. Same with Supreme Court judges. Now here is a man who will now say, no, honorable judges, you give me in writing why you are calling me. These are my 6 points. What are we doing? This country runs by a constitution. This country is run by a whole law which is set in place. You are telling agencies, you give me questions, I will give the answers. What is happening? Look, everybody who is involved in this case is behind bars. The law takes its own process. Investigative agencies, judges, they don't work according to whims and fancies of Arvind Kejriwal. He knows that the money trail is leading up to him. He is kattar beiman and he is very scared about that. The biggest question here is ED, CBI or any other agencies are independent agencies. They run according to what they find as they investigate. They go to one place, they make raids, they get more documents, they get ready for what is going to happen. And here is the man who's challenging the whole due process of law that has been established since independence. That no, tomorrow if Supreme Court calls him, this man is going to do a press conference and ask the honorable judges, why have you called me? Answer my 6 questions first. Where are we leading? This is not how this country functions.
All right, but Mr. Pratyush Kant, before I bring in Ashutosh and I go back to Akshay Marathe, let me ask you a question on where it stems from with what Akshay Marathe is saying. You know, sir, if you just look at empirical data, and that's all I'm looking at and referring to, there's been a rise of 27-fold increase in ED raids ever since your government's come into power. Now, I'll give you an example and then I'll compare it to years of the UPA. Now, 2004, 2014, there were in total of 112 ED raids. From 2014, sir, to 22, which is 2 years lesser than where we stand right now, the figure stood at 3,010. So that, if you look at it, is a 27 times multifold increase in just ED raids, out of which 95%, if you micro dive into the data, seems to be, sir, only opposition politicians. If you're only looking at a myopic level where politicians are concerned, if you sift that data. Mr. Kant, the question's for you.
Preeti, yes, I thought it's for... See, Preeti, the question here is, you should appreciate the fact that what ED is doing. I'll just take you back before 2014. Why did Modi government come with such a huge power? There was so much of corruption. Land corruption, telecom corruption. So corruption, banking scams, enormous level of banking scams. India got used to that corruption. What Modi government has done is that all corrupts have to be booked and brought into law. You should be very happy and appreciative of the fact that all the corrupt people are behind bars or they will go behind bars. It's just a matter of time. You should be, all agencies are working honestly.
Okay.
This is the strength of Modi government. That is why you will see, Preeti, that election happened in every state and we are sweeping. What were all the media in Delhi saying? That oh, these are photo finish elections in Chhattisgarh.
Akshay Marathe, allow
why
him to finish his point.
Because people are seeing that the corrupt are being put behind the bar. You should be very appreciative of the fact of what ED is doing. ED will not function as to what a corrupt chief minister like Arvind Kejriwal says us to do.
All right, Akshay Marathe, allow me to open the panel. I will come back to you for a rebuttal. But you know, in that context, somewhere down the line, Akshay Marathe, the Prime Minister has said ek pai ka hisab hoga. And possibly it's just a reflection of that is what Mr. Pratyush Kant is saying.
But they have made Ajit Pawar Deputy Chief Minister after alleging a 70,000 crore rupee scam. So with what seriousness are these people coming on TV and saying they're fighting corruption?
There's a point that Akshay Marathe is making.
That case was closed in that case was closed, Preeti ji, in Uddhav Thackeray's time. That case was closed.
ED was running under
Uddhav Thackeray. The ED case is still open.
This country. Narendra Modi ji has told this country.
Okay. Okay, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you and then maybe you can reflect on how is it that Mr. Eknath Shinde, half of his cabinet, which he's taken with him to the Maharashtra Assembly right now, had quite a few cases, some of them ED, some of them other investigative agencies. Where does that stand? But we'll come back to that. I want to include Ashutosh into this conversation. Ashutosh, you know, we've spoken yesterday on the summon bit, on whether it's going to reflect and how on Arvind Kejriwal. But just the way the party functions and just the way Arvind Kejriwal functions, late last night, a flurry of activity, Arvind Kejriwal is going to be arrested. That arrest didn't quite happen, but the statement was made. Do you see this as classic Aam Aadmi Party?
See, Preeti, since I do not have information about what caused them to create such a panic, and was it really a panic? Was ED was really planning to arrest them? I have no information about that, so it will not be good on my part to comment on that. But the fact of the matter is, and I said it earlier also on your show, that Aam Aadmi Party should not be seen to be running away from being arrested. Why I am saying so? Because this is a political battle. This is not a legal battle. And if this is a political battle, then Aam Aadmi Party, and especially Arvind Kejriwal, should, from the day one, when the summon was issued, he should come out openly and say, I am going to Enforcement Directorate, and if they want to arrest me, they can arrest me. That would have been a political response to the ED summons. But since the 3 summons has been given, and he has not responded the way he should have responded. You remember when Manish Sisodia was going to be to face the ED, then he was given a hero's welcome, and he was projected as somebody who's fighting for the country. I think that sent a good signal to their own cadres. So if Manish Sisodia, in the case of Manish Sisodia, Aam Aadmi Party faced affront, with Sanjay Singh it faced with affront, then why Arvind Kejriwal is not going to the ED and facing the questions, and if arrested? See, the PMLA law is such that unfortunately or fortunately, whatever you say, it is not legally bound to tell Arvind Kejriwal whether we are summoning you as a witness or as an accused. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court order in Madan Lal Chaudhary case in July 2022 has reaffirmed that. In one of the rarest of the rare cases, Supreme Court has accepted the review, has decided to review their own judgment. So unless that judgment comes in, maybe in 6 months' time, maybe tomorrow, the legal position is that whatever you say, ED is not duty bound to tell you whether I'm calling you as a witness or as an accused. So I'm again reiterating, it's a political case. It has to be fought politically instead of trying to fight a legal battle.
All right, fair enough. Akshay Marathe, what's the message which is going on to your own cadre, to your own voters, because this is a man that you wanted to project as someone who's been kattar imandar. Even if he's taken into jail, should he have not courted jail and gone in? Maybe a huge wave of empathy would have emerged at the back of it?
Preeti, look, I don't think if anybody in this country wants that Arvind Kejriwal ji should just give up, go walk into jail and sit in jail for the next 6 months, that's not going to happen. We will fight this election, the Lok Sabha election coming up under the leadership of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. And the reason that this political conspiracy is being hatched by the BJP is because they don't want Mr. Kejriwal to fight the Lok Sabha election. They don't like the fact that he is a vote catcher for the Aam Aadmi Party. He's going to sweep the Punjab Lok Sabha seat. He's going to sweep the Delhi Lok Sabha seats. And that is a few more seats in the opposition's kitty, in the India Alliance's kitty. So if the Bharatiya Janata Party and sympathizers of the Bharatiya Janata Party want that we should just walk into jail, that's not going to happen. Point number 1. Point number 2, Preeti, the message, the perception battle that you're talking about, I think Aam Aadmi Party has already come out clean in that perception battle, because we have shown that we are very willing to cooperate with the investigative agencies. The CBI, which is investigating the exact same case, had summoned Mr. Kejriwal 8 months ago. Mr. Kejriwal went there for 15 hours. He was questioned in the same case.
Right.
Our question today is, how is it that 3 months before the Lok Sabha election, the ED has woken up in a case that has been going on for the last 2 years? How is that in any way a logical progression of the case? He is not an accused.
The notice came to you in the fag end of October.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. October, January, these are all in the vicinity of the Lok Sabha election, but the case has been ongoing since January 2022. What has the Enforcement Directorate been doing for all this time? Why have they never asked Mr. Kejriwal to show up before this? Why have they not made him an accused? Why have they not made him a witness? Why are they harassing him on the eve of the Lok Sabha election? It is very clear to the people of India. Because, and I don't want to belabor this point, Preeti, and I really hope that the BJP spokespersons give a very clear response. Why did the Enforcement Directorate lose the prosecution files related to Mr. Chhagan Bhujbal months after he joined the Bharatiya Janata Party?
All right, okay, that's a fair point. But, you know, Akshay Marathi, many would say since January 22 to October, when the Delhi Chief Minister was summoned, you had enough of your own leaders who one by one went to jail. And then the number came of the Delhi Chief Minister. But I'll come back to you, sir. Allow me to go.
Quick clarification. Quick clarification.
Go
it's
ahead.
very easy
10
to say.
seconds,
It's
sir.
very easy. It's very easy to say that our leaders went to jail. They have not been held guilty. The bail has been denied because the PMLA says that you have to presume guilt, not presume innocence.
Fair enough.
So let's not make this a media trial and say that they are already guilty.
But nobody's making it a media trial, Akshay Marathi.
Not you. The BJP is making it a media trial.
No,
they come
okay,
every day and accuse us of corruption without having any conviction in the court of law.
No, but then the Supreme Court did also add that there is a tentative establishment of money trail for 338 crores where Manish Sisodia is concerned.
No, let's not throw
that
around
was an
these
observation.
Words. What the Supreme Court said is 338 crore rupees have been made as profit by a company. There is no link between that company and Mr. Sisodia. The Supreme Court has not said that these are proceeds of crime. Let's be very clear. So for the BJP to say that the Supreme Court has said that there has been proceeds of crime, then the Supreme Court would have pronounced them guilty and thrown them in jail, sentenced Mr. Sisodia. What are we waiting for then?
All right. Okay. You know, I'm going to come right back because I can verbatim quote to you on what the Supreme Court said. But having said that, Pratyush Kant, I want to cut across. And there is a point, sir. You know, it's not just what's happened in Maharashtra, be it Mr. Eknath Shinde's cabinet or be it Mr. Pawar's induction or Mr. Chhagan Bhujbal. There are so many names. Narayan Rane, Suvendu Adhikari, Himanta Biswa Sarma, Kripa Shankar Singh. We can go on. And this is where probes have gone cold. Now, nobody's accusing the ED. But then the opposition will come together and call it vendetta. Mr. Kant, questions for you, sir.
What AAP spokesperson was saying. Yes, I heard. I will first answer what AAP spokesperson was saying. That how honest Arvind Kejriwal is. For your viewers, I'll just tell you that today this Mohalla clinic case, a doctor sees in a Mohalla clinic from 9 to 1. That is 40 minutes. So in that time, he has seen 533 patients. Imagine, in half a minute, how can you see a patient? Then they fill up the form. 12,000 form, the mobile number is 0. These are all documents. That's why it has gone. People, the viewers of this channel must listen to this. 12,000 costs 0. 11,000, 99999 number. 6,000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What was happening? Why couldn't he put a CCTV camera there? There is corruption in Daru. There is corruption in Dawa. And they are saying that Kattar Imandar. It is for the viewers to decide that what Arvind Kejriwal has done is all documented. When Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court Senior Most Judge, when he sees the file, which we have not seen, neither the anchor has seen, nor I have seen. When they see the file, they say, oh, there's a clear case of money trial. Good, no bail. So it is very easy for Arvind Kejriwal to ask and pose these questions. Why is he scared? Because there are facts which you cannot deny. There are undeniable facts which those people in power see it. For ED or any other agency or even for judiciary, it takes time to reach to a conclusion. Files comes, new inputs come. You have to collaborate those facts, come to the real story. It takes time. But as Narendra Modi government has promised to the people of this country, koi chor nahi bachega. If Arvind Kejriwal is dishonest, he has looted the public money, he will pay for it.
Mr. Pratyush Kant, you didn't answer any of my questions on the various names I took, sir.
You cannot.
Okay, fine, fair enough. Okay, you don't want to answer that question, I'll let that be. But Ashutosh ji, you want to answer it, sir? Please go ahead, 10 seconds.
Well, for all those cases you have named, the legal process, the law process of life will take place.
Okay.
You see, nobody is above law. If investigating agencies get some facts, they will come, they will go to the court. Who's wrong will be put behind bar.
Okay.
For Narendra Modi government,
law will take
no
its course,
chore
you're saying.
will be left
Okay, all right.
Yes,
Ashutosh,
absolutely.
I want to bring in Ashutosh back into this conversation. Ashutosh, you know, for somebody who's voted possibly for Arvind Kejriwal or whatever his reputation has stood for, would you think if tomorrow, even if he's arrested, will there be empathy or will it deride him of his credibility?
It's difficult to say, but Arvind Kejriwal is a very popular leader in Delhi. There is no doubt about it. Obviously, there will be sympathy for him. But the bigger question today is one, will if Arvind Kejriwal goes to the jail, will Aam Aadmi Party survive? Because after Manish Sisodia and Sanjay Singh's arrest, there's hardly anybody who has the acceptability within the party and within the government. So who is going to replace them? Because he can't say that I'll run the party and the ministry from the jail. He can run the party from the jail, but he can't run government from the jail. So obviously he has to resign. So if he has to resign, then who will take the mantle and who will run the government? That's the point number one. And whether that person, he or she, will be acceptable. That's point number one. Second point is, I think in this case, in liquor scam, with my due apology to my friend Akshay Marathe, there is a certain amount of doubt in the minds of the people. There is something wrong here. Why I'm saying so? Because once the CBI investigation was ordered, immediately after that, the liquor scam was scrapped. So if everything was right with the liquor scam, they should have gone to that extent.
Okay.
So that's,
all right.
I think, yeah.
You know, okay, I'm terribly out of time. You're going to leave it at that. The explanation from the Aam Aadmi Party was that the bureaucracy wasn't signing in on the papers.